Welcome to the deep dive. So if you thought the world's biggest tech companies were just, reporting numbers last quarter, you might want to think again. Q3 at 2025 wasn't just about earnings. It really felt like it revealed this huge synchronized strategic shift. We're talking Amazon, Booking Holdings, Meta, Tesla, all making massive similar pivots, kind of at the same time.
Yeah, it was definitely more than just a strong quarter. When you look at the source materials, what really jumps out is how these companies, retail, social, travel, cars, completely different starting points. They all seem to be working from the same playbook now, a unified strategic blueprint.
Exactly, and that's what we want to unpack today. We're going beyond the headlines, beyond the quarterly numbers, to really extract that shared blueprint, specifically how these four giants are pretty aggressively redefining their core businesses. And they're doing it through, massive AI investment and really deep vertical integration.
Right. And this isn't just like small tweaks or adding a chatbot here and there. It feels more like an existential race, a race to own the next big computing platform, lock, stock, and barrel. Whether that platform is in the cloud, maybe on your face with wearables, or even driving down the road by itself, they're betting billions on owning it completely.
Okay, let's dive into that, starting with the foundations, right? Because you can't deploy game-changing AI without the infrastructure to run it. And our sources show Amazon and Tesla are really pushing this vertical integration thing hard to control the bottleneck.
Amazon Web Services, AWS, is a perfect place to start. The fact that AWS growth jumped back up to 20.2% year over year, that's the biggest number they've posted in, 11 quarters? Pretty impressive. But the real story isn't just the growth rate, it's the strategy behind it.
Okay, but is this just about cutting costs? Or does Amazon genuinely think they can outperform NVIDIA with their own chips, like Trainium for certain jobs? Why is Amazon, a cloud and retail company, suddenly acting like a chip designer?
It's really both. Performance and control. They're not treating custom silicon Trainium, Trainium 2, Trainium 3 as some side project. They explicitly called it a multi-billion-dollar business. And get this, growing 150% quarter over quarter.
Wow.
Yeah. They're designing these chips for optimal price performance specifically for their AI services. It drastically cuts down their dependence on, other chip makers.
And that vertical integration extends to power too, right? Owning the whole stack.
Exactly. Amazon added 3.8 gigawatts of energy capacity just in the last year alone. And they're planning to double that again by 2027. They clearly see compute and the energy to power it as the ultimate competitive moat. And beyond the hardware, their software strategy, this building block approach, is also key. It gives customers choices with multiple foundation models through Bedrock. And crucially, they're focusing heavily on AI agents now. New tools they call Strands and Agent Core.
Wait, Agent Core? What does that actually let a developer do? Is it just like linking models together?
Think of it more like sophisticated plumbing for complex AI workflows. It lets developers chain together multiple specialized AIs to handle really intricate multi-step tasks automatically. So you could build an agent that, say, checks inventory, processes a return based on past purchases, and sends a follow-up email all by itself.
Okay, so that's the massive sort of sprawling cloud scale approach. Now, contrast that with Tesla. Their approach seems much more laser-focused on silicon. They're developing this new custom chip, AI5, designed to be, 40 times better than their last one? For their specific needs, anyway.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is that intense focus. They aren't trying to build a general-purpose chip like NVIDIA. They're designing AI5 aiming for potentially 10 times better performance per dollar compared to rivals, but only for their very specific real-world AI tasks. That means full self-driving and the Optimus robot.
And they get that efficiency through, you called it radical simplicity, by literally deleting components like the GPU and image signal processor. How is removing parts a strength?
It's a massive advantage when you own the whole system. It means the chip only processes Tesla's unique compressed data. It doesn't need to worry about generic graphics or standard image stuff. This leads to huge power savings, incredible speed, and a much denser, more efficient design. It's optimized purely for their proprietary stack. Because they own the entire data path, sensor to compute, they can just ruthlessly optimize the silicon underneath it all.
Okay, so that's the clear split then. Amazon building the huge general-purpose cloud foundation.
Yeah.
And Tesla crafting these hyper-specialized, purpose-built chips for its physical robots in cars.
Exactly. So if that first part was about the hardware, the foundation they're building, let's pivot now to the application layer. How is all this AI compute power actually showing up right now? How is it impacting revenue, user engagement for the consumer-facing players?
Yeah, this is where it gets really tangible, especially looking at Meta. They talked about this huge engineering effort, combining three major previously separate AI systems, the ones running Facebook feeds, ads, recommendations into one single architecture. They call it Lattice.
And that unification is such a big deal. Imagine, Meta went from having like 3 separate AI brains kind of competing for what you see, one for content, one for ads, one for friend suggestions. Now it's one giant unified brain, Lattice, coordinating everything.
And it's not just tied to engineering, it's translating directly into money, right?
Yeah.
Lattice cut down over 100 different ad and recommendation models, and that consolidation alone led to a 3% gain in conversions for app install ads.
Right, and let's just pause on that. A 3% conversion gain for a company operating at Meta's scale. You know, driving hundreds of billions in revenue. That single optimization could easily mean billions in extra revenue each year. That's the real impact. Plus, they said improved ad quality on Facebook surfaces jumped 14%. So the unified brain also makes the user experience better, which, you know, keeps the whole monetization engine running smoothly.
And they're also diversifying their platform bet beyond just phones and VR headsets. They seem to be positioning themselves as an early mover in discrete AI wearables. They highlighted the success of the new Ray-Ban Meta display glasses.
Yeah.
Apparently, they sold out in most places within like 48 hours. That signals people might actually be ready for this kind of always-on, non-VR AI device.
Okay, switching back to Amazon for a sec. Their AI impact on the retail side is maybe the most direct and quantifiable example we saw. They rolled out Rufus, this new AI shopping assistant, and management wasn't shy about it. They said Rufus is, and I quote, on track to deliver over $10 billion in incremental annualized sales.
Wow. $10 billion. Incremental sales from one AI assistant in its first year or so. That feels like a major aha moment. AI isn't just some future promise. It's a massive immediate revenue generator.
Absolutely. And their advertising business is also seeing huge benefits. It grew 22% year over year, hitting $17.6 billion. That's driven by better ad tools, partnerships, sure. But the AI twist here is this new agentic AI tool they launched. It basically automates the entire creative process for advertisers, image generation, optimization, everything in hours instead of weeks.
That kind of speed advantage must be huge for brands, especially those trying to react quickly or run highly personalized campaigns.
Definitely. And finally, let's look at Booking Holdings, BK&G. They're using generative AI specifically to strengthen their brand in the travel space. They're pushing forward with their long-term connected trip idea, making the app home screen more adaptable, and adding more flight options through partnerships, like with Ryanair and Southwest.
And they're deploying specific AI tools too, right? Like AI chatbots for Agoda, the Kayak AI mode for natural language search, and tools like Smart Messenger for their hotel partners.
Exactly, and the strategic win here financially is really important. All this focus is boosting their direct bookings, especially in the US. They said their global B2C direct mix is now in the mid 60% range. Why does that matter so much? It means fewer people are coming through expensive channels like Google search ads. They're using AI-enhanced loyalty and a better product to get customers coming straight to Booking first, building that brand moat against costly marketing rivals.
Okay, so we've covered the infrastructure and the immediate applications. Now let's talk about the really audacious bets. The moves designed to transform whole industries, powered by this new AI muscle. Robotics, transportation as a service, and even grid infrastructure. Starting with Tesla's push into TOAS.
Yeah, the full self-driving program seems to be accelerating significantly. Elon Musk expressed 100% confidence in achieving unsupervised FSD safety much greater than human. They're aiming to expand deployment pretty rapidly, 8 to 10 major metro areas by year-end. They mentioned Nevada, Florida, Arizona specifically.
And the hardware strategy seems to confirm this shift too. They mentioned developing the Cybercab. Our sources suggest this is their purpose-built robotaxi. The fact they highlighted that occupants can text implies it's designed for passengers, not drivers. That points directly to TOAS becoming a core revenue stream, fully unsupervised.
But the biggest bet, the one that could redefine everything, is still Optimus, the humanoid robot. Musk described it as potentially the biggest product of all time.
Right, he even called it an infinite money glitch. Okay, putting the hyperbole aside for a moment, what's the actual roadblock for Optimus? Why does Tesla feel the need to vertically integrate its development so intensely?
The real bottleneck seems to be scaling the physical production. They plan to show Optimus V3 in Q1, maybe looking, as you put it, like a person in a robot suit. But the critical challenge they identified is actually making them, scaling to millions per year, and developing key components like the hands and forearms. The supply chain for those kinds of specialized dexterous humanoid parts just doesn't exist at that scale yet, so essentially they have to build it themselves.
Meanwhile, Amazon is making its own massive vertical plays in logistics and energy. Their grocery strategy, for instance, has really shifted. Instead of just opening dedicated stores, they're now heavily leveraging their existing e-commerce logistics network for hyperlocal delivery of perishables.
Right, they're already doing this in over 1,000 cities, aiming for 2,300 soon. It's a really smart strategic move because it taps into how people shop now. Less of the big weekly stock up, more frequent, smaller buys, especially for fresh stuff. They're basically making their huge existing fulfillment system way more efficient by adding perishables into the flow.
And their energy verticalization ties directly back to the AI compute needs we talked about earlier.
Exactly. Tesla needs huge power for compute, and Amazon is building the power source. Amazon is developing Megapack 4. This new battery unit actually integrates substation components inside the unit itself, outputting 35 kV directly.
And why is that significant for deployment?
It makes deployment much faster and cheaper, just simplifies the whole construction side of things. And we know the demand is real because Tesla mentioned getting huge recent orders for their megapacks from other hyperscalers and data centers. It shows Amazon isn't alone. Everyone building massive AI compute faces this enormous centralized energy challenge, and they're trying to solve it internally.
So, okay, stepping back, what is all this centralization, this big push towards proprietary AI, custom chips, owned logistics? What does it mean for the rest of the market? And maybe for you, the listener, trying to figure out where the opportunities are.
Well, the synthesis seems pretty clear. All four of these giants are prioritizing proprietary tech.
Yeah.
Custom silicon, unified AI models, vertical logistics, even robot manufacturing. Why? To make customers stickier and slash their reliance on third parties, whether that's Google for ads, NVIDIA for chips, or traditional energy suppliers. And this relentless drive for efficiency frees up massive amounts of capital to reinvest back into their own AI ecosystems. It's a powerful flywheel.
Which suggests the real opportunities now lie in the gaps, right? The underserved niches where these giants maybe aren't focusing because they're so locked into their own vertical stacks. What specific white space opportunities jump out at you, linking back to the bottlenecks we've discussed?
Yeah, I think we can pinpoint 4 key areas. First, given AWS pushing Agent Core, there's a clear need for vertical AI agent solutions. Think companies building pre-trained AI agents on top of AWS infrastructure, but hyper-specialized for specific industries, tackling complex, niche tasks like, say, scientific research analysis or specific financial compliance checks where deep domain knowledge is crucial.
Okay, that makes sense. And building on Tesla's Optimus challenge.
Right. There's an immediate, tangible need for startups focused on specialized dexterous end effectors. Basically, advanced, maybe modular robotic hands and forearms. Filling that physical supply chain gap Tesla highlighted for high-precision humanoid robots. That market barely exists at scale.
Got it. And in travel, you mentioned Booking fighting Google, but maybe missing the smaller players.
Exactly. Their big tools might not serve the long tail. So there's an opportunity for B2B Gen AI tools specifically for independent accommodations. Things like highly specialized dynamic pricing, personalized upsell recommendations, tools tailored for small hotels or single property owners that BKNG's broad platform won't capture effectively.
Okay, and the last one, related to ads.
Yeah, considering Meta's success with agentic ad tools and Amazon's huge ad growth, there's a big opening for generative content for hyper-personalized advertising, but aimed squarely at small to medium businesses, SMBs. Specialized platforms that can automatically create loads of contextually relevant, compliant, personalized ad creatives, specifically designed to perform well on Meta and Amazon's platforms, helping SMBs compete.
So this whole deep dive really underscores that Q3 2025 wasn't just another quarter. It felt like the definitive end of the AI discovery phase and the start of a really aggressive AI deployment phase backed by just massive front-loaded capital spending.
That's the core finding, I think. The ultimate value seems to be shifting away from just owning the platform itself and towards owning the proprietary intelligence that runs the entire operation. That intelligence is the product now.
Right.
So with Tesla aiming for what they call an infinite money glitch with Optimus and Meta betting on this unified superintelligence, well, the really provocative thought for you, the listener, to consider is this. What fundamental, tangible shift will you notice first as these powerful proprietary AIs finally leave the lab and fully enter the real world, whether it's on the road, in the cloud services you use, or maybe even something you wear on your wrist? That's the question that's likely going to define the next decade of technology.